Hi everyone, it's Ashton with Keller Realty. I have done a couple of videos about pros and cons of real estate. A lot of people really wanted to know more information about becoming a real estate agent, what it looks like and all of that. I thought I'd do another video with Jennifer Alday.
Hi!
She is our team lead. I'm going to pretend to be somebody that is starting to go to school for real estate, but I haven't really interviewed any brokerages, and Jennifer has reached out to me to see if I would be interested. So we're just going to role play that real quick.
Yep.
All right.
Let's chat. So, what's got you thinking that real estate's going to be a right career for you?
I hear that it's just really easy, and I really want to be able to make real estate a career so I can have the income and have the flexibility that I need for the kids.
Got it. That's awesome. And you started school?
Yes.
Did you end up going with Rockwell?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. They're a great school.
I just started last week.
Sweet. Awesome. So that all sounds very much like what everybody thinks real estate. So I actually started out in real estate in 2006 in commercial development, and then got into residential real estate in 2011. I wanted to have direct control over whether I had money in my pocket or not, and not be up to economy or anybody else. I've been with Keller Williams ever since. Keller Williams really is very different than a lot of brokerages because they have just a very different culture than I think other brokerages out there. It's very about you as a whole person and very supporting. Education's so important, and they're constantly training and teaching and adjusting to the market and whatever's going on. So it's got a very good vibe to it, and a very good feel, and very supportive in whatever you need as a human being. And then I work for Anton Stettner. I run a team for him right now, currently. And so Anton owns the brokerage here in Marysville, as well as the one in Everett with Ben Kinney. And he's been in real estate since 2003, and has had a team since 2005. So our team has just a couple decades of knowledge and experience.
Wow.
And so it's really, really helpful with people coming into the industry to kind of get their feet wet without feeling like they're drowning. There's so much information and so much that you have to learn that without some help with coaching and guidance, it can be very overwhelming. So
I'm only like a week into the
Yeah.
classes, and
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of what's going on yet.
Yeah, I know, and it'll just get worse. I promise.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but not in a bad way, in a really good way. There's just a lot going on. So our team, like I said, we've got a full-time staff that supports our agents, because in reality, there's a lot of things that real estate agents have to do, but only a few things that actually make them money. So we try to keep our agents in those core activities so that they're not spending time on things that aren't making their business better and stronger. So we have a full-time staff, a listing coordinator, transaction coordinator, marketing director, all that support our agents, as well as our team is very supportive of each other. So if you need somebody to cover a showing because when your kid's sick, we can usually find somebody to fill that need for you. It's really helpful when there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So it helps keep that flexibility, because you're not all by yourself having to do all the things and wear all the hats.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the team support is amazing. And then in addition to, right, you already spent, the couple $100s to get into real estate school. The team covers all your expenses once you're licensed, besides your MLS fees and your National Association of Realtor fees, and the cost to hang your license at the brokerage. So it really cuts down the expense, because when you're coming in as a new agent, if you decide to go solo, you're going to spend anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 before you've even gotten off the ground.
I didn't realize it was so expensive.
Yeah, so if you think about business cards, signs, key boxes, marketing, a CRM, there's so many pieces to the puzzle as far as getting your business moving. What I really like to express is that with a team, you're building a business, you're building your own business, but you're building it inside of an already existing, well-established business. So you're not having to reinvent the wheel and start from scratch. So it really cuts down on the time. That also helps in cutting down the time it takes for you to get momentum and get your business moving, because you're not having to do all that stuff up front, plus having the leverage. It really allows you to get moving and get your business started and start making commissions a whole hell of a lot faster, and you get a lot of support that you wouldn't necessarily get. So that's kind of what that team looks like, in addition to the culture and energy and wonderfulness that is Keller Williams.
That sounds really good. I hadn't even considered like some of the stuff that you brought up, like the money and how long it would take to build a business, and I hadn't considered that. I thought that like I would just sign on with Keller Williams and that Keller Williams would feed me business.
No, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. The team structure does feed you business, but if you're a solo agent, you're responsible for getting all the business. With a team, you still go out and get business on your own, but there's support and leads fed to you, and assistance given as far as tools that allow you to go get that business for yourself much easier.
Okay.
And it really, like I said, cuts down that time to get moving and get momentum in the business, because I think a lot of people have that misunderstanding that stuff just falls out of the sky. But if you were opening up a restaurant and starting that business, how much time, energy, and money would you think you needed to put into it?
Right.
It's very much the same thing. So you can either do that on your own, or you can have a team support you and help you do that and take away a lot of that pressure.
So I'm a single mom. How long do you think it would take me in order to build the momentum to make it a business? Well,
it really depends on your activity level, honestly. So if you come in here and you put forth every effort, every energy, and I don't mean to sound like, boastful, but basically do as you're told, because we have a 100-day plan that also we set out for our new agents that really helps them get out of the weeds and really start focusing on the activities that we know with our decades of experience will make them money. So if you do all of those things, I mean, most of our agents are making their first commission within 90 days.
Okay.
And so, and then ideally that's just building on top of itself. I'm not going to tell you your first year you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, because that's just typically not how it works out. But you will be able to make a livable wage if you close one deal a month.
Okay.
And where you can support your family. Most of my agents, my top performing agents, typically close between 3 and 4 deals a month, which, can be a very nice paycheck on a monthly basis.
Yeah, if a livable wage is 1, then 3 or 4 is really good.
Right. And I mean, there's so many variables, right? It depends on the price point of the property and all that other stuff. But, ideally, if you can close one residential home a month, you are going to be having a livable wage.
Okay.
With that flexibility.
And you think that is doable for me as a single mom in order to expect to close 1 deal a month?
If you put in the time and energy up front in the first 90 days to 120 days, there wouldn't be a reason I could see that wouldn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not, real estate is not for the faint of heart. It's just not. There's a lot of rejection. There's a lot of, what I think really trips people up in the first few months of real estate is that we're so instant gratification driven, and real estate, the activity is so far away from the reward of the activity, it makes people feel defeated in the meantime. Because from the time that we talk to somebody for the first time, because buying a house is not like buying a carton of milk. There's some time and energy and prep that goes into it.
Right.
To the time that you see a paycheck, the soonest that typically can happen is 45 to 60 days. That's the soonest.
Okay.
So there's a lot of activity that has to happen, where you're not seeing the tangible benefits of it for a little bit of a period of time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I start talking to somebody and we go buy a house and I don't actually see a paycheck from it for 60 to 90 days at the very earliest.
I mean, if you found somebody that was ready to buy a house tomorrow, they've already talked to a lender, they've already got their ducks in a row, you could see a paycheck within 30 days. But that's the fastest. And most people, when you first initially talk to them about real estate, it's just a thought in their head, right? It's not something that they've actively gone and done all their due diligence. That's where you come in as the agent to guide them through that process.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you take them from, I know nothing, I don't know what I want exactly, but I think I want to own a home, through the process of getting credit approved, through the process of getting, the lender approved. And there could be gaps of time in there. If people have some credit issues they need to clean up, that takes some time too. So that's where that time can get stretched out, and that follow-up with that person is so paramount.
Wow. Okay. Well, I really want to make this a career.
Yeah.
So if I have to, build a business, then that's fine. I just want to make sure that I'm asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And that this is going to be something that's going to work for me and my kids.
Yeah. And I'm a mom of two, so the flexibility is super important to me, as well as the monetary side of things. What's really great about real estate is it's not tied to a time or a location. So real estate can happen 24/7 if you let it. But on a random day when your kid gets sick at school and you need to go pick him up, you go home and you do that, and you can work from your laptop on your couch with your sick kid in your lap. All those things can happen. It's very beneficial to be in the office as much as possible, especially in the early part of your career. To be around people doing what you're doing, listening to people so that you know what questions to ask. You have that training. We do trainings, we do coaching sessions, we do all sorts of things that help you to understand how to gain business and keep it. But at that same token, you do have the option to go home if you need to for some other reason. Or hey, it's a sunny Saturday in July, a sunny Friday in July, and you want to go home. Cool, that's no big deal. You put in extra work next week. So you do have flexibility, but at the same, I'm not going to stay away from the fact that this is building a brand new business. So if you think you're going to work 30 hours a week and make a livable wage, that is wrong.
Okay.
It's not that, but the cool thing about it is if it's 60 hours, it can be 30 hours, 35 hours, 40 hours in the office, and the other 20 to 25 hours are going to be in the evenings and the weekends, but at home or from wherever you are, because the other benefit about real estate is that you can pretty much do all of this from your phone. So it really doesn't matter where you are. Again, like I said, being in office, around people doing the things that you're doing, always best. But if you're on vacation or you're taking a mental health day or whatever, as long as you're willing to answer your phone, you can still be working.
That's really cool. That's good.
Yeah. It's the hardest, bestest, most amazing, funnest, craziest career ever. I will say that. But 80% of the people that get their license are out of the business within the first 2 years, which is a really crazy turnover ratio or turnover number. But I think that's because there's so much misinformation out there. I mean, HGTV paints a really poor picture of what being a real estate agent actually is. And everybody knows a realtor and has somebody telling them in their ear. So Keller Williams actually created an assessment that's specifically geared towards real estate, where they took the top performers in individual areas that you can use your license, whether that be commercial or property management, or I want to work with buyers only, or whatever, kind of mapped out their personality so people coming into the industry could kind of know, already know kind of where they should focus their energy based off the natural skill set that they already have, based off their abilities that they already possess. So it helps kind of direct and give you a focus. And so typically we'll go through that together to kind of get a feel for whether this is the right fit for you personality wise, and then which area would be best. And then I actually have you come in and do a shadow with my team, because I really want people to have a clear picture of what they're getting themselves into on what this looks like on a daily basis, as well as, is my team energy, vibe, culture a good fit for you? I really want to set people up for success and making sure they're in the right spot. And so if I want to give them all the information so they can make a really educated decision.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
A personality assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the shadow sounds really good.
Yeah.
With the team. I think that would be nice to give me a good behind the scenes peek.
Yeah.
is there a personality assessment that says that I would not be a good real estate agent?
No, it's not. It's not that. It's just whether or not which area would be your best fit.
Okay.
Because there's lots of things you can do besides be a real estate agent that you can do with a real estate license.
Oh.
That you,
okay.
you know, whether you want to be a transaction coordinator, inside sales, outside sales. There's lots of other different things besides being a real estate agent that may suit your personality better. And so it's just kind of a discovery process.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just got started in my real estate classes last week. I feel like I could probably get them done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I guess when do I next talk to you?
You know, if you're, the sooner the better, I feel like, as far as, you know, even if you've only been into your classes for a week, if you can, because we also provide study groups for our agents that are in classes. So if we get through the process of talking a little bit more about what area you might be best suited for and the shadow, and we feel like it's a good fit, then I can open up a lot of resources and tools to you while you're going through the classes that will help you kind of hit the ground running once you've got your license.
Okay.
So it makes it for a really smooth transition.
That sounds really good. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, then we'll set up a time to meet again and go through the assessment, as well as have you come in and shadow, and then see if this is the right fit for you.
That sounds awesome. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Awesome, Ashton. It was great meeting you today.
Thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys. I thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming to chat with me today.
Absolutely.
I hope that answered some questions for you guys, and I know that you will have probably a ton of follow-up questions. If you ever want to talk to me about that, or if you want to do a shadow like she was talking about, go ahead and talk to me. I'd love to be able to help you. If you want to learn more about getting your license or joining the team, I would be happy to link Jennifer in the description so you can talk to her.
Yeah.
And then I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.